Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. Today my name is Osetale. So today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to cut and sew a modesty panel or a cover or closure for your loop. Loop can either be open like this or it's covered with a panel. So if you want to learn how to cut and sew a modesty panel for covering your loop, please keep on watching and let's go straight to the video. So guys, this is the fabric I'm going to be using for this tutorial. I'll be using this black doll face for the panel, then this other one for the lining. Now I'm going to bring a back pattern paper that I already have. I'm going to be working on only the back piece. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 2 inches from this line, not from the zipper allowance area, but from this line. I will just measure in 2 inches because it's a loop. I want it to be as wide as 4 inches, so just make 2 inches there, then you rule the line and go ahead to cut it out. So we are going to be cutting out this part. We don't need that part, so this is the part we are going to be making use of. Now what I'm going to do is I'll be using this pattern paper to cut on my fabric and the lining piece. Guys, when cutting on fabric, you're going to leave like about ½ inch here for the joining allowance, so just leave ½ inch on that side, then you go ahead and trace it out. So I also went ahead to leave ½ inch on this other side. So guys, this is it. Now I'm going to open this place up. After cutting, now I'll remove my pattern paper and I'm going to be marking the wrong face of this fabric because the right and the wrong face is almost the same thing. Now I'll be using this fabric to cut the lining piece, so that is it. You also go ahead and mark the wrong face of the lining piece. Then after doing that, I'm going to make 3 lines here so that I will know the parts where I will be sewing the loop. Okay, so just go ahead and do that. So guys, the next thing I'm going to cut is the panel. I'll be using this black doll face for the panel. To do that, I'm going to measure what I have here. You measure it down. I have 11 inches, but I'm going to be cutting my panel with 10 inches because the 1 inch is going to be ½ inch for the upper side joining and also for the down part joining. So I'm just going to fold my doll face into 2 like this. Okay, then before I go ahead to cut it, I'm going to open my back piece like this. I told you guys we are going to have a space of about 4 inches for the loop, so 4 inches is what we are going to have for the loop. Now I'm going to cut my panel with 4 inches plus extra 3 to 4 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and cut out my panel with 8 inches so that it will be able to cover up the space of the loop very well. So to do that, now just rule a line here. Then I'm going to go ahead and measure the 10 inches long. I'll just add ½ inch for the joining, then I'll come to this side and measure 10.5 as well, then I'll connect it. Now I'll measure 8 inches, which is going to be for the wideness of the panel. So just come down here and measure 8 inches plus ½ inch sewing allowance as well, so you connect it. Now you're going to go ahead and cut this out. So guys, this is going to be for the modesty panel. Now we have everything ready. So when you flip it to the right side, so this is how it's going to look by the time you are done. So guys, now that I'm done cutting out all the pieces that we need, now the next thing I'm going to do is I will be ironing hairstay to all the pieces. This is what I had after I was done ironing hairstay to the pieces, guys. You can see I've ironed hairstay to these fabric pieces. I did not iron hairstay to the lining piece because it's already thick enough. I also went ahead to iron hairstay to the modesty panel. So guys, this is it. Now to start sewing, I'm going to bring this modesty panel. I'll fold it to the right side and I'll go ahead and just sew it just like that. I'm not going to be sewing this other part. So guys, this is what I had after I was done sewing. So now flip it to the right side and iron it out. So guys, this is what you're going to have after ironing. Okay, now I have these ropes I've cut, so I'm going to go ahead and take them to the sewing machine and fold them. So this is what I have after folding the ropes. Now I'm going to be cutting out the ropes with about 3 inches that I'm going to be using for the loop case. So just measure 3 inches and cut. Just use that one to cut as many as possible. So guys, I have a lot of them already, so this is what I'll be using for the loop case. Now to do the loop case, I'm going to bring my actual fabric, my fabric piece, then I will take one of this rope. I'm just going to fold it together like this. Okay, just fold it together like this and place it on it just like that, and use a pin to secure it. Before placing, guys, make sure you measure out ½ inch, which is going to be for the sewing allowance of the upper part. So just measure out your ½ inch, place it and pin it on it just like this. Okay, then after pinning the first one, you're going to take the second one. You measure ½ inch allowance, just give it like ½ inch space. You can decide to give 1 inch depending on how wide you want them to be, but I decided to use ½ inch for mine. So you measure it and place another one on it. So you're going to keep doing that till you get to the end. So this end part, you take out your ½ inch sewing allowance again, then you go ahead and do that all the way to the end. So I'll take this to the sewing machine now to do. So guys, this is what I had after I was done sewing all the loop case to it. Did you see how it's looking? So I did it to the 2 pieces. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring my lining piece. I'm going to place my lining piece on it like this, the right sides facing each other, and I'll go ahead and sew it. But before I sew, this is the part I want to add the modesty panel to. So I'm just going to bring my modesty panel and I will add it to it like this. I realize it's too long, so I'm just going to be cutting out about 1 inch out of my modesty panel. Okay, then you place your modesty panel on top of your fabric like this. Did you see, leaving the ½ inch allowance on both the top and the down part? Then go ahead and add your lining piece to it just like this. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm just going to sew it down just the way you see me demonstrate it. You sew it down just like that. So guys, this is what I had after I was done sewing it down. Okay, now I'm going to flip it to the right side and I will iron it out. So guys, this is how you're going to have it after ironing. You can see how nice it's coming out already. It's looking so pretty. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting a bunny on this side. So these 2 sides where I have the loop, I'll be putting a bunny. So I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine. I will run a stitch on it, leaving about ½ inch where I will put my bunny through. So this is what I had after I was done running that stitch. So guys, you can see just a straight stitch. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my bunny through that space that I have there. So just trim out your bunny like the way you see me doing it, so that you will not have sharp edge, and you go ahead and put it inside just like this. So when you get to the end, you pull it out a little bit and cut, then you push it in, and you go ahead and do the same thing to the other one. So guys, after doing that, now I'm going to bring my rope. I already folded a very long rope that I'll be using to lace it. Now I'm going to measure 4 inches, which is the loop gap. So just measure 4 inches and place it like this. Then you go ahead to pin it down, just pin down this part. Then after pinning, then you go ahead and lace it up. So guys, this is it. This is how it's going to look after you are done lacing it. You can see how pretty it is looking. So this is how to cut and sew a modesty panel for your loop. Okay, so you can see guys, now you can choose to cover it up if you don't want your body parts to show, or you remove it, whichever one. It totally depends on your choice. Thank you so much guys for watching. For all those watching my video for the very first time, you're highly welcome. Please endeavor to hit the subscribe button and as well as the notification bell so you get notified when I post my next video. For all the old subscribers, I appreciate you guys a lot. So guys, I'm going to be seeing you all in my next video. Bye.